All right. So this is how would I do them, and you can do them all the time. Shh. This is the fastest way to learn something is understand it today. If you understand it today, you always understand it. When the things understand the first day, the being tall, then that's the best day to understand. The second day and third day is actually gets worse. It's because you start having a lot of confusion. So right now, Christopher, I need you to pay attention to up here. What I would do is pay attention to a couple of things. This time of things that the things that I'm gonna tell you is you don't need a math to understand this. You don't need to know enough calculus to pass AP exam. If you look at this particular situation, um, wait, where's my? If you look at this position, this is f prime x. I'm gonna do a number line test, but I draw the number line test right below this. And if this is a f prime of x is above x-axis, that means f prime of x is greater than 0. Is that okay? F prime of x is below x-axis. That means f prime of x is less than 0. Is that okay? Is this line here, the f prime of x equal to 0 means they touch x-axis. So therefore, it has 0 at -2 and 1. Is that okay? Before that is what? What we're gonna say, we're gonna do number line test. F prime of x is what? It's positive or negative? It's positive, so write down positive. And here from -2 to -1 is what? Below x-axis, right? So guess what? -2 is the maximum. How many people choose 1? Raise your hand and choose 1. But do you understand now? How many of you guys choose -2? Good. The answer is -2.
Okay.
But do number line test. This is the fastest way because you don't have to understand a lot of stuff. I've been teaching so many years. I think this is the best way. Every time I teach a different way to do something until I find out the best way. But it takes me about 4 to 5 years to do something. Because every time, like the first couple of years will be a trial and error. So I will say like which one is the best way for student to understand. But this is the best way for student to understand. If you draw a number line test based on a graph, just look at it below or above x-axis. Does that make sense? Okay, so this one you can get this point about 3 to 4 point on AP exam. Okay, next question. Sydney says what?
Can you do like 11, 12, and 13?
11, 12, and 13. Let's go to 11, see what happened. Okay, 11, 12, and 13. Let's go to 13. Now you're gonna answer this question now. With my way of showing you how to do it, then you can answer this question fairly easy. So draw a number line based on this f prime of x graph. Because I can ask you multiple different questions. Again, this question does not require you good at math. Just require you good at analyzing. So your algebra suck, you can still do these questions. Nora's like, yes. Then you better be good at those analyzing questions because the analyzing question is a lot of question on AP exam. If your algebra is not good, that's fine. But you do need to get through some question algebra question, but not all of them. Every year at end of the year, I kind of color chart every students. Alex,
You said I was gonna fail that AP exam. I'm still not out of
I didn't. I think I put down everybody's yellow. I didn't say you're gonna fail.
No.
You put me in
Because
orange.
I put no, not the last picture. I can pull it up right now.
You, yeah.
I can pull it up right now.
Porque he-
Porque
he- 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 he-
está abajo de...
He'll do it later. He'll do it soon.
About March. Huh? No, it's pretty much every week after March. It just people don't see too much. Yeah. By doing the number line, try it over again, see if you can do it correctly. Now, what do you think answer choice will be? But what's your second answer right now after you think about it? That's why I need to ask you to do number line right here. Just based on the number line. Don't show her. Let her do it. Do a number line based on here. Huh? No, just pay attention. Look at here. This is f prime of x. When did it equal to 0? When does f prime of x equal to 0? Yeah. So what happened before 0? Is f prime of x positive or negative? Good. What happened after? Yeah, so it's above and below x-axis, right?
Yeah.
So this means increasing and this means decreasing.
It would be,
Yeah. E will be right. Is that easy? Okay. Let's do the same thing, but I want you to do it with this question. Do the same thing with a number line test and do it this question. Now analyze it in the correct way. Question 15. And we're also going to go to 16 because Josephine asked me 16. So do the same thing on 16, see what kind of answer you get. So do a number line test and then draw out and see. Okay, let's see what's the answer. The answer is actually B for this one.
But look at the slope, not the value.
Look at it. Neha, look at this.
Look at it.
Neha, look at this. Just take a drawing like this. The only thing you need to draw. And then here is gonna give you 0, right? So this is a negative. We're gonna say this is one negative 1 to 1. And below this is f prime of x. Below x-axis is gonna be negative, positive, negative. So it'd be decreasing, increasing, decreasing. So which one is decreasing, increasing, and then decreasing? Does that make sense? It's not A. This is increasing, this is increasing. This is increasing, decreasing, increasing. That's opposite. And this is decreasing, this increasing. That's not the same. This is three situations. Draw a number line to be able to help you. Okay, let's try this again for this question.
Which one? 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just based on f prime of x. You should be able to eliminate this answer really easily. Josephine, you got it?
3, 2.
For 16 or 15? 15, you got it? Okay. Carlos, where are you from? Where are you from? She's from Venezuela too?
Yeah.
Do you guys know each other?
No,
No.
we met in this.
You met in this class?
Yeah.
Okay. How long you moved here?
3-9 years ago.
So you grew up in the Spanish.
Yeah.
So it feel more comfortable for you to speak Spanish.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, I don't mind.
When Samantha said crash out, and it's maybe everything in Spanish.
Yeah, when I get mad or stressed, I start cursing.
When we don't want anyone to hear what we're saying.
Huh?
When we don't want anyone to hear what we're saying. we
Oh,
can-
okay. All right, question 16. Joseph, did you get an answer for sure or no? Are you sure? Okay, just do a number line test. Positive, negative.
Yeah.
Which one's a positive? Which one's increasing before 0 and decreasing after 0? Well, it's not this one because this one has like increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing, right? So this one's negative. It's decreasing all the way. This one's decreasing, increasing. Is that what we're looking for? No. D is not right. E is correct. Increasing, decreasing. Got it? Is that 7? 3? 12 and 11? Okay. Okay, 12. Now, I think Carlos asked this one just because he forgot a sign.
Oh, yeah.
It was changing went from positive sign to negative sign, and he's like, "What's the answer is wrong?" I was like, "It didn't look wrong, but I look at the question was not matching."
Yeah.
So sometimes always check yourself. You copy down the question right or wrong. So I will take a derivative and I'll do a number line test. Now, if you realize that doesn't give you a critical number for x squared plus 1, please do not write down plus 1 and negative 1. How many of you guys did that? Plus 1, negative 1. Yeah, that doesn't. Because x squared plus 1 equal to 0. If you move the 1 to the other side, it's going to be negative 1. If you square root both sides, it's going to get plus minus I. Plus minus I is not a critical number. So by that part, you need to understand the algebra part. Gotta be careful. Any question about this part? So and therefore, I didn't have a negative 1 and a positive 1 on the number line test because there's no actual number. So just based on AX. Now, x squared plus 1 is always positive. Doesn't matter what value you plug in. You square something and you plus something. It's always positive. So you don't have to worry about that. You just worry about the first one, and AX, which is negative to positive, so it went to negative to positive. So it's going to be negative infinity to 0. That's only one that has the right answer.
So you did it You didn't include the ones because it's imaginary.
Yes, because this is plus minus I.
Porque
Okay.
algo me genera como negativo.
Does that make sense, Sydney? Okay, so for the moral of this question is if you ever have a plus minus I, those are not included in the critical number because they are not real.
Same thing for 11 then.
Probably same thing for 11. Yes, let's look at 11. No, 11 is different. 11 is after I take a derivative. Did you have a derivative correctly? How many of you guys have derivative wrong? What happened to your hand? Huh? Oh, you in wrestling? I didn't know you were wrestling. Somebody break your arm?
Oh, that's great.
Brian? Who's
No.
Brian?
Is the one at the bottom?
I didn't know you. Are you on wrestling this year, Brian? Who's the best wrestler? In fact, Damien, are you the best wrestler?
My what?
Are you the best wrestler in the school?
Even for facts.
He's like, yeah,
That's not even-
best at everything.
So maybe it's okay. So maybe it's
Calculus?
the denominator that got me.
I'm gonna say I am, but we both know.
You had the confidence.
So was it the denominator that got me? Because I got that, but I didn't compare it to the denominator.
If you pay attention, denominator, right? If
Yeah,
you
I just said 2x times 1 minus x squared to the negative second power.
yeah, but if you think about anything square, parentheses square is always end up to be positive. So if you see that all the bottom is all positive, and then on top of 2x is negative, negative, positive, positive, so it'd be negative, negative, positive, positive. Now, here's my question. No, actually, I was gonna have a different question, but I hear you got negative, negative, positive, so it's decreasing between negative infinity to negative one. Oh, wait, hold on a sec. It's increasing from 0 to 1 and 1 to infinity. The reason being is a parentheses square. Every number you plug in inside is always square, so it's always positive. Alex, are you gonna use a phone there? Uh-huh.
What do you mean?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
It's probably heyday. Like last year.
I don't know why.
Okay, so I want to go over one other question. Is this one a lot of people have question about? I think Maddie had a question yesterday about this particular one. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Oh, not that one, not that one. Figured it out.
Alex figured.
Oh, which number?
Okay, for what value k where f of x equal to x squared plus k over x? Now, if it's relative minimum, it must imply what? Is f prime of x is equal to 0, right? Because it's relative minimum. So you take a derivative of this function. Now, here's the hard part. Take a derivative of kx. You want to change to kx to the negative 1. Now, take a derivative, so it'll be negative 1 kx to the negative 2. And that's how you do it properly. So you're going to get to simplify down to here. Move the 2x to the other side, but also plug in 2 because they say occur at 2. So plug in 2. Then you can solve for k. K is equal to 16. Very, very good questions. And it's very, very important that student able to do that. I want to go over this questions here. Now, this question is C. You guys choose C? 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does mean to you? You have to understand this means f prime of x. Is that okay? More specifically, they mean f prime -2 because this is a -2. Then you'll be 2.637.
That's positive.
And that's positive, so it's increasing. Good. Okay, let me show you. Oh, there's one here. This question is also good too. Now, this question I'm going to change slightly. So we got a questions here. Now, what I'm going to say, how am I going to change slightly for this question? So I'm going to make this question a lot harder. I'm going to say, hey, can you tell me which following function has relative maximum? If it's so, when do you think it happened? So I'm going to change this question just slightly. I'm going to say, if it has a relative maximum, where did it happen? Which one has relative maximum? If so, which x value did it happen?
Do I say it out loud or no?
Hold on a second. I'm gonna ask you first though. So I want everybody else to think before you shout it out loud. I'm gonna repeat my question again. Which function f of x, g of x, h of x has a relative maximum? Could be multiple, could be one. If it's so, where did it happen? You guys can talk about it too, if you want.
There is no negative. What do you mean? Guy was in my yeah, that would be no,
Okay, Stefano, what do you think?
Okay, so here, f of x does not have a relative maximum.
Why?
Because every value here is positive. It never changes.
It just keep on increasing, right?
Right.
Okay, good.
G of x does not have one. It has a relative minimum at 0, but that goes from negative to positive. That's relative.
Okay, stop there. I think he's doing an excellent job, and I'm gonna tell you why he's doing an excellent job. He says g of x has a relative minimum at 0, and that is very specific. So I know he knows where does relative maximum occur, because he answered the g of x in a way that's so specific. He knows what's going on. So here's my question. Nola, what do you think? We know h prime x has a relative maximum. If we know that, because we have to have one choice, right? If we know that, where do you think it happened? At which x value did it happen? You can pick any value. Don't worry about being right or wrong. Just, if you don't know, go with your gut. If you do know, figure out which one it will be. At 0, no. Okay. Let me ask Christopher, what do you think? At where? At 1, no. Brian, at where?
Equals 2 and 3.
It's probably more likely 2. Do you see why it's 2? Because 1 is 0.5, still going up. At 2 is 0. At 3 it's going to go down. So more likely happen at 2. Now, is that always at 2? Possibly, but it has to. It went from positive to negative. It happened between 0, happened to be 1 and 3. It has to be. But probably more likely 2. Can I go like this? Yeah, it's possible. But it has to be at least 1 between 1 and 3. So it has to be 2. Nola, do you understand? Don't just nod. If you don't understand, now it's a good time to ask. Okay. Well, do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go over all other questions. So I'm going to show you answer for all the questions. And you can check whether your answer is correct or not. Go with first one. I got 2 pi over 3. Start from second one. I take a derivative. I find out relative maximum at b 0. Now I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say this again on a thing. If AP exam says, "Hey, today AP exam asks you a question differently," they say, "Can you find out what x value is relative maximum at, and also can you justify that point is the relative maximum?" How do I justify? Not chart. It's nothing to do with chart. How do we justify? No.
X goes from negative to positive. Hold on.
F prime of x
F prime of X goes
change
relative maximum.
from
Positive to negative.
positive to negative at c, which is at x equal to 0. So 0 comma f of 0 is a relative maximum. Now this on AP exam is going to give you a point. On FRQ, this sentence will give you a point. You do not write essay, you write a first derivative test. I'm going to say that over and over again. Please write this. And this is how you earn a point. Okay. Number 3, you got to factor out the most negative to get negative a over 7. However, Alex is right, says, well, there are 3, but I want you to be able to factor out to find out a specific value horizontal tangent at negative a over 7. They require if you do chain rule and product rule correctly and also factor out the most negative correctly. Questions? 7. If you take a derivative, I'm gonna get plus minus, minus plus minus plus. So hopefully you do the number line correctly. It's gonna look like this. Relative minimum, again, this is require product rule and chain rule. And if you factor out the x plus 1, you will get x equal to 1/3. If you do it correctly, it should be C. No, Samantha? Did you do a chain rule from product rule? Or you only do... Okay. Did you do a number line test though? Should be 1/3 though. Okay, this one we already talked about, this one we already talked about, this one we already talked about. Ooh, this one, really hard one. The answer is -1, D. How many of you guys got this one right? Good job, Alex. Neha, good job.
Why do you take the second derivative?
That's a great question. Read the question again.
No, I don't get it. I don't get it.
In order to find the minimum value, you had to take a derivative, right? But they say the minimum value of the derivative of f of x. So you take a derivative first, and then you have to take a derivative again to find the minimum value of that.
Oh, I get
She made me
Wow,
my word.
it. Don't even, I did not make
I had the right word.
That's true.
So a lot of times reading, if you understand, reading is a key word. This one, number 10 is another one. It's kind of interesting because if you take a derivative, there is no critical number. You're gonna get I in the situation, so you plug in anything is always positive. This one is that. I think we talk about the question.
Yeah, what's this one?
What is what? Say somewhere, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, quite.
You just paint the whole flat.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't watched the whole